Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, my people? It's your main man, JD, in the building, along with my main man, Steve, right over there. I hope all is well with you wherever you might happen to be on this planet. But tonight you are rocking with Watch Stuff with Us. Lo says, am I the only one here? Yeah, at the moment you are.
That's gonna change, you know that.
Oh yeah, of course. You just an early arriver. I know that over in India it is 5:30 a.m. I think right now, so it's pretty early over there. This isn't exactly optimized for our people over in India, but tomorrow's stream, or at least tomorrow for us, it'll be later on tonight for you guys. We'll be doing a full spoiler stream on Toxic, so that'll be fun. That'll be tonight in India.
Very nice.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I'm excited to be here tonight with you, my brother, and
Always.
I hope that you've had a good week too, man.
I have. I miss our middle of the week or early in the week.
I know.
Yes.
I know. Coming up this fall, man, we gotta get you guys back on for something. As time permits. I know how it goes, and I know how everybody's busy, man. But we gotta get you back on for sure. I miss it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, tonight, this is the big show. I hope everybody is having a good week. This is the best way to end your week is with us. So tonight the topics are, we had 3 topics. Every time we do the big show, we had 3 topics. The first topic tonight is going to be how the movie Toxic has divided India. We will go into a little depth on that. The next topic will be about Marvel and Avengers Doomsday, and if Marvel is officially back or not. And then also, if we happen to have a flop, if Doomsday happens to not be good, how detrimental will that be to Marvel Studios and what they have going? And then finally, we'll be ending the show with a DC Studios content and topic, which is going to be discussing if DC is potentially forming their version of the Avengers, also known as the Justice League, in the upcoming Superman movie. So yeah, we're gonna be spraying to all fields a little bit today, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. If not, I don't mind talking about it my dang self, because every time we talk about it, I have a good time. Like me and you, Steve, we could be talking about this just like not on a show. So right. To do it on a show is even better. But we got Rachel in the building.
What's up, buddy? Good to see ya.
Good to see you as always, Rachel. I hope all is good. And just so you guys know, I need you to push that like button.
Push it good. Push it. Push it real good.
Of course, a little salt and pepper, little salt and pepper sound to do a little push it right there. But yes, I hope everybody is doing good. And like I said, tonight we will be discussing Toxic first and foremost. So let me go ahead and get that topic rolling. So let me switch my screen up real quick. So yes. One film by the name of Toxic just released over in India and also here in the States and worldwide. I had the benefit of going to see the movie with Katie. We have gotten some unbelievable support from all of our friends, family, fans, and followers and subscribers over in India. So like, oh my goodness, man, I am super excited for that. And like, yeah, our channels went crazy. Like we literally went from 2,000 subs on like, what was it? Was that early? That was earlier this week. And now we're almost at 2,500. Yes. That's so crazy. Like, yeah, it's bananas, man. It's bananas. It's been ridiculous. So yeah, I'm just very excited and thankful for everybody over there. But needless to say, we really enjoyed the movie. And for whatever reason, there's been a lot of backlash and controversy over the movie over in India. I really wish, Steve, man, like I was telling James, and I talked to him, like as soon as I got out the theater, I gave him a call. I would have called you, but it was kind of late, so I didn't want to bother you. But I called him up and I told him, I was like midway through probably the first act of the movie. And I looked over at Katie and I'm like, are we witnessing greatness here? Like I could feel it. Like it's such a good, it's a good ride, and it's an interesting take on the sort of action genre. And it's apparently something that a lot of Indian cinema fans are not exactly used to. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of dive into that a little bit
Yeah.
as well. But like I said, tomorrow we're going to do a full spoiler discussion on Toxic, which will be tomorrow for us, but Saturday evening over in India. So yeah, if you guys are watching right now and you're in India, tomorrow I think it'll be at 7 p.m. Indian time. We'll be live doing a full spoiler review of Toxic. But yeah, so I'm not going to get into any spoilers tonight, but we'll do that all tomorrow. But yeah, just there's been a lot of controversy over the film. So I think, and then this is probably a strong saying, and I said it in the, people thought that I was lying and people thought that I was just hyping it up and I'm saying stuff that I don't really mean, but Toxic is the best movie that I've seen this year. To me, it was better than
Really?
Spider-Man. Yes, it was better than Spider-Man. It was better than anything that I've seen this year. And I've seen a few good movies this year. And I mean, that's high praise coming from me specifically because you know how we do. You know how we do. Like we tear stuff apart. And maybe it was because I went into this with like little to no expectations, but I had a blast watching it. There were twists and turns that I wasn't expecting. It wasn't a cut and dry just story. The action sequences are incredible. For fear of me like kind of spoiling what it could be for you, Steve, so I'm not going to tell you what I would compare it to, but it has a instant comparison that after you watch it, you would understand exactly what that comparison would be. Like before you finish the first action scene, you'll know exactly what's happening. And not story beat wise, but just like action wise, action and fight choreography wise. So yeah, I had a legitimate blast watching that movie. It had an intermission, it was that long. Like I left the theater, I was just like exhilarated, man. Like and people were like, oh, this is fake, like, you know, you guys got paid to do this. I'm like, dude, I wish. Like
Right.
I wish I got paid to do this. Like, no, I genuinely enjoyed the movie. So yeah, I can't wait to discuss it in more detail tomorrow when people tune in. Hopefully over in India, they'll be able to check out the review in real time. But yeah, I had a genuine blast while I was watching it. But anyway, we released the video. The trailer reaction video that we had is closing in on almost 150,000 views. Ooh, wow. Out of the theater reaction that we posted, I think is closing in on close to 70,000 views at this point. So like it really exploded. And there has been so much controversy over in India from everything that I've been reading. So I was really hoping that we got some of our Indian fans to come over and chat about this now. But anyway, I'll go through some of the controversy that I've been reading about. So the movie was I guess Yash, the main character, the actor, he plays a character named Raya. And he's from Kannada, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's just a region in India. So he's from this certain region. The support for him out of that region has been overwhelmingly positive. Like that's their boy. That's like, you know, that's like how we were with Kanye, you know, like that's our guy. We're going to ride with him for as long as we can until he start doing some crazy stuff. But it's, I mean, the fans have really enjoyed it there, but other regions of India have not liked it for several reasons. And I think that the reasons, well, there's a bunch of reasons that people are giving as to why they are not liking it. But like I said, genuinely the support that we've been getting has been from a lot of people from that region. Like I was telling, I told you guys in the chat, like the YouTube has like hype boards. And the video is currently, well, the last update I had that it was like number 17 in all of India on YouTube's hype charts. Like unreal. We had like last time I looked, we had 2.4 million hypes. Like the video got distributed on their version of Good Morning America. Like it's just, it took off. But anyway, it seems like the people regionally enjoy the film, so they're like rolling for him. So that's one thing, but the rest of India seems to not be as behind the movie as they are. There was also a big controversy because there are a lot of, well, not a lot, I would say 2 to 3 maybe, scenes where he is, like I won't say like sex scenes, but there's scenes where he's intimate with a woman. And they don't show anything in these scenes other than like his back, and they might show them kiss, but they barely show that. But there's a lot of like steamy windows and like hands on glass, and you know what I mean,
Titanic
like
style.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So there's a lot of that. And people have been up in arms about that there's too much of that type of content in it. Me personally, as an American cinema watcher, it's nothing. Like it's a non-factor for me. But I know that I know that other parts of the world are a lot more conservative with their views of relations like that. So I totally understand it. But as an American, like I've seen far worse. Like this would be the movie, the violence in the movie would make it a rated R film. The sexual content in the film would make it like barely past PG-13. Like it's really, I've seen far worse. And I know Katie's watching right now. She might want to tune in or chime in on that too. But yeah, it was nothing for me. But I understand, like I said, that other people over in India probably look at that and they're like, oh, that's, it's not appropriate. So there's been a lot of that. There have been a lot of people who are upset because of the way that the character Raya, who is played by Yash, is treats the women in his life. So he's someone who is kind of a he's not really he doesn't have a ton of discretion with the women that he's with. So he jumped around a little bit multiple times in the movie. So a lot of people were upset about that. And there's also been a controversy. I got to read this right, but there is a website that is called Book My Show. And I guess you can buy like movie tickets on there, sort of like Rotten Tomatoes, but you can buy movie tickets on there. They had ratings for the film on there, but after the backlash started coming off and the ratings for the film started to go like down for whatever reason, all the ratings disappeared from the website. So people were like, things aren't going good. So all of a sudden it just disappears. Like, that doesn't make any sense. There was also a situation where there were a group of people, a lot of people, like not a mob, like 15, 20 people that were at the theater and walked out of the theater and demanded a refund because they felt that the movie was so bad, so inappropriate. And then also there was a YouTuber who received a legal notice over his review after the company who made the movie said that he was releasing defamatory content surrounding the film. So this is the actual like studio reaching out saying that like, oh, you're talking too much. And that is sort of just unheard of. So yeah, like I said, it's been a ton of controversy over the film, man. Like a ton of controversy. My bottom line is I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I will tell everybody who is a fan of those types of movies to please go check it out. Like I really, 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 really enjoyed it. And like I said, to me, it was better than Spider-Man. No hyperbole on my end there. I just really enjoyed the movie. So have you ever had, or what movies can you think of, Steve, that have sort of created major controversy like this? I was trying to rack my brain and think of like other movies that I knew that had like major drama going on behind the scenes, but I couldn't really think of any.
Yeah, it's hard. What makes this difficult is because I don't, I'm trying to understand. I'm thinking about this as an American and someone that's a
Right.
big American cinema fan. And, you know, I had read up on some of the controversy this past week. I've heard some of it, not in the detail that you just explained it. And so it's like, for me, yeah, this seems like it's nothing. All right. Like it seems
Right.
like it shouldn't be a
Right.
big deal. Some of the
Right.
things that I've heard just reading about it, it's like content that you would see on network TV. Like the
Mhm.
FCC wouldn't even block some of the stuff on network
Mhm.
TV.
Mhm.
So, for it's difficult. Like it's like we're looking at it and saying this isn't controversy. What's the
Right.
controversy?
Right.
But I do understand, like you were saying, that in other places, in other countries, they're going to be a little bit more conservative with some of the things that you're going to see on film. And so I
Right.
do understand that.
Right.
A brief, right out of college, I briefly was a tutor for an Indian family. I don't want to generalize, but
Sure.
um I remember great family. They were big into cinema. Like they liked
Yes.
watching movies. But the father and the mom, their complaint was that our movies were too over sexualized. It was too
Yep.
misogynistic.
Yep.
And so a lot of times they wouldn't watch movies that surpassed like the PG rating. They would
Yep.
stay in that more family movies. They didn't really go off into your PG-13 R-rated movies. And so they didn't watch a lot of action movies. And that was the constant complaint. It was
Mhm.
that the movie was over sexualized, it was too misogynistic. And that's been the criticism I've seen here. Um, the one comparison that that jumps out at me just on the top of my head is kind of what we're seeing and it no pun intended, it's a bit toxic in the social media world about
Mhm.
sort of like DC and Marvel and some of these action films. Have they become too misogynistic? Are they pushing women to the forefront a little too much? It kind of reminds me of some of those controversies that you're seeing in that sort of comic book movie world and action
Mhm.
movies.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's still, it's not the same because we look at that and we can kind of understand the controversy. But here, as an American, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a controversy.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. I'm 100% with you. I think the Marvel sort of fandom is very interesting too. There were a lot of people who were in our comments and were saying that it hadn't been covered a lot, but there were some people who came out and said that they had been approached and given money to bash the movie and they hadn't even seen the movie. So like there is so much going on with this film. And my thing that I'm, most disappointed about is the fact that the lead character in the film, Yash, like this dude is an absolute star, bro. Like
Mhm,
he is a star. Like
mhm,
not even like just for Indian cinema. Like
mhm,
he is a mega star and he's over there and one of the things that they said, and I was watching an interview and he was saying that they produce this movie to be big internationally. And I think that they're getting that, but it's also turned off some of their home fan base,
Yeah.
which is, that's tough to do. That's very
Yeah.
tough to do. Like, just sort of making that comparison, with what we have going on. Like, I've had other people ask me, like, are you guys just going to be like an Indian cinema channel now? I'm like, no. Just because we decide to cover it and we want to appeal to, different audiences, that doesn't mean that we're turning our back on everything domestic. So the little success that we've had with like the Doomsday video that we dropped, that's over 14,000 views now, and the the recent Indian cinema movies that we've reacted to as of recently, and the success that they've had, dude, I understand why weak-minded and people who are usually younger and just like, not as strong and confident in themselves can be eaten alive by social media. Like, dude, like I'm a grounded person and this stuff doesn't get to me, but like responding to comment after comment and seeing comment after comment saying the same thing over and over again, I'm just like, dude, okay, like we get it, I get it, I understand. And then when you look at it and you're like, that's the 70th comment that I've read that says pretty much the same thing, and then like as time goes on, they progressively get like worse and worse. In the beginning, people are like, oh, I didn't like that. By the end, people are saying that you're like the absolute worst person on the planet for doing what happened. So like I can only imagine how somebody who's as talented as Yash is looking at this like, man, the movie is a success to some degree, but a lot of my people aren't digging it. So I hope that he's strong enough to understand that and able to take that criticism and not allow it to sort of rip him apart the way that I'm sure it can do to some people who are, a little bit weak-minded and not really used to that sort of thing. But I mean, this dude is a movie star. He's been a star for a long time. So I would assume that he's grounded enough to be able to understand and take it.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
And you've done, you watched the movie, I've kind of just briefly looked at some of the stories of the controversy. How grounded do you think the controversy is? Do you think this is real? Do you think it's real controversy where there's like a legit group of people that's upset at some things that's happening in this movie, or is this like a social media creation?
Yep. There's a lot of both going on, man. I think that a lot of the people, there are a lot of people genuinely in India who are upset with it because it's not what they're used to. There's also a lot of people who have not seen the movie who are just jumping on to jump on. Like, I know that that's the fact. I know that that's a fact. I've seen it with videos that we've done. Like I said, when we've gotten negative feedback on certain things, I've seen it happen where somebody references something that is completely not in the video that I talked about, or they allude to something that is not in the video at all, or they say that I said something or you said something or somebody said something that just never gotten said. So I'm like, you didn't even watch the video, bro. So like, you're just doing this because this somehow fills your bucket. Like, outside of doing this show, like, I mean, you know, and you're the same way. Very limited on social media. I will read it, but I'm not commenting on stuff. Like, I do it for the show and for show purposes, but like, just me personally, Facebook, I can do without it. Instagram, I can do without it. I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need to be validated by other people. It feels good when you're on here and you start seeing the success and the numbers going up. But yeah, going back to your original question, I do think that it's a little bit of both. I think there are some people who just are culturally not ready for what this movie presented. But I think for international audiences, and specifically audiences here in the States, it's nothing. It's nothing. Like, the movie's violent. I would say more than like sexually explicit. The movie's violent and brutal at times. But when it's violent and brutal, I'm looking at it like, yes, yes, gimme. But I know that that's not everybody's taste. So that's something that I hope that the filmmakers behind it, and Yash, and I think her name is Geeta, is the lady who directed the film. I hope that she understands, and I hope that that was something that they kind of knew may happen going into this, that, you know, there was going to be this backlash. But yeah, like I said, I'm super excited to talk about it. I somehow, some way, you got to go see it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
I need somebody in my life to have seen this movie so that I can talk to them about it and see if they feel the same way that I do.
I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna go check. It's not playing anywhere in my immediate vicinity, but I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, it was a fun ride, man. I see all the comments, and we're gonna jump into the comments next. But yeah, if you guys have other things to speak on the movie, like I said, tomorrow morning, which will be Saturday here in the States, Saturday evening over in India, we'll be doing a full toxic spoiler review of the movie, and we'll get deep into everything that happens in it, and some of the controversy can kind of be discussed and explained away when we get into full spoilers of the movie, because there are certain plot points in the movie that are controversial as well. So yeah, let's jump into these comments, man. Let me see. I see Rachel and Katie have been talking a lot. So Rachel said, great, I'll have that song stuck in my head all night. When I push the song, the different buttons, can you hear those, Steve?
No.
Okay, dang. I got one for Salt and Pepper Push It.
Nice.
When I tell people to push the button and push that like button, I like to play that one. So I'm gonna play it for everybody right now. Yes, push it real good. That's what they said. Hold on, I might be able to switch it up just so. Nah, that's not gonna work. I was gonna say just so you could hear it, but yeah, if you guys are watching right now, push that like button for me. But yes, I just said, ooh, baby. Yeah. Classic Salt and Pepper. I've been wanting to use that for a very long time. But I was always nervous about the copyright issues, but I found a version of it that's a cappella. So I was like, I should probably be able to get away with it that way. So we'll see. Rachel got hit with a Cinemark commercial. Yeah, the movie is 3 hours with an intermission. It's a little more than 3 hours with an intermission. The intermission was awesome. I think they should do that with more films, because like we got up, went to the bathroom, got a refill on our drinks. Like it was dope. Nice. It was dope, man. And then one other thing I want to say too, like the experience I had, there was probably like maybe another 10 people that were there, and they were all Indian. And like after it was over, I was so excited to talk about it. And we stood for like 10 minutes and talked about the movie. Like I haven't done that since like Endgame and Infinity War. And I love the communal aspect of cinema, and they filled my bucket as far as that was concerned. So big shout out to those guys, man. Big shout out to them. I can't wait till Ramayana comes out, because I'll be there to go see that. And hopefully there'll be a nice crowd to go see that as well. Rachel says, I keep looking at your numbers going up on those videos. I feel like a proud mom. Oh man, thank you, Rachel. Like, yeah, your support and your help has been critical in all this. Like all the comments, all the likes, all those things help. So yeah, totally appreciate that. And yes, we're very proud too. Remind us how you got put on these shows in India. Well, we released our video on YouTube, and then someone shared it. And that share ended up somehow making it to their version of Good Morning America. So I don't know how it happened, but it made it. And at last check, it had been like, there were like 50,000 likes, and it had been viewed almost 600,000 times just on their social media stuff. Nice. Let alone how it was shown like on their actual broadcast as well. So yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. It's been shared over 7,000 times on WhatsApp. It's been shared, I think it was close to 400 times on different Facebook profiles, but like that data is very limited. So usually those estimates are very low compared to what it actually is. But yeah, either way, it's been shared a bunch. But yeah, that's kind of how it happened. Let me jump down. I saw a cool comment a second ago, and I want to get to that, so I'm skipping around a little bit. Okay. Ani says, the issue of the first half of the movie feels so disconnected. It's just random action montages and BS. Only in the second half it gets to the good psychological part. Most audiences is calling out the writing. I can see and I can understand that. I get it. but I think that maybe in the States we're a little bit more forgiving when it comes to that sort of mix of the film. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like I didn't view it like that, but I could see and I can understand how some people would feel that way. um I think that the setup, okay, the movie is called A Fairy Tale for Grown-ups. So because of that, it kind of skips over some parts. There's some sequences that don't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. The way that it's portrayed to be like over the top, like it makes sense because it's not supposed to be a grounded story. So I kind of went into it understanding it that way. And since I went into it understanding it that way, I feel like it made sense. But I think other people are kind of taking it a little bit more literal. And that might be some of the cause of where people are upset about it. Rachel says, I'm so curious to watch it, but the time it plays is 2 p.m. and I can't pick up my kids in time. Yeah, it's a long one. It's tough. Like it was at random times for us too.
Yeah.
Like it
I'm in the
started.
same boat, Rachel. I'm in the
Yeah.
same boat.
I want to say that like legitimately we were the first people in the States to get a review up on it.
Wow.
Like I'm pretty certain of that. Like I looked around and I didn't see anybody that had a video and a review up. So that's probably why it got the traction that it got so fast. But yeah, we saw it at like 5:15 is when it started, and I think we rolled out by like 9:30 or so. But
Nice.
but yeah. I guess that song puts me in age bracket. Oh yeah, you're in our age bracket. We all family here. We understand. Katie says, Yash is incredible. Not only did he act, he made this movie. Yeah. I'm totally with you. Dude is just a superstar, man. He is a star. Like I can't wait to see him in more things, especially stateside, because I feel like he has the look, he has the swag, like just his aura, man. Like the young kids these days talk about aura. Like this dude is oozing aura. Like just every scene that he's in, he eats it up, and like it's crazy. It's crazy. Katie says, I don't do brutal stuff, but I love this because it wasn't gory. Yeah, it wasn't crazy gory, but it was brutal. If there's a difference in my mind. Like there's blood, there's violence, there's people who get hurt, but it's not like disgusting, if that makes sense. At least for American eyes, it's not disgusting. Let me roll up and down his chat again. Katie says it was spicy, but nothing was shown. Obvious sexual relations were implied, but didn't see anything. Yep. That's I totally agree. Yash's hair was honestly one of my favorite parts of the movie. That man has fantastic hair on top of the head and facial. It's glorious. And she says, I could be a tough person to please when it comes to movies and shows. And I honestly went into this thinking I wouldn't enjoy it. And it blew my mind how awesome it was. Yeah, it was a fun ride, man. It was a very fun ride. Let me jump back down a little further. He says it was extremely bloated with more than 30 minutes being completely useless to plot Indian love long movies. Durhandar, I think that's how that's pronounced. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. 2 was 4 hours and it became India's biggest movie. Rachel said, but and like I get the bloated part. Like I don't feel like the extra time was something that was just like not warranted. Like I didn't feel like there were like filler scenes or stuff that didn't really make sense. At least that's just my opinion though. Rachel says, but what made you go watch it? Someone recommended it. Yeah, someone recommended it initially, and then I saw the review or the trailer pop online. And then from there I reacted to it. And then at that point, they ended up releasing an English version of the trailer, and then I grabbed Katie to be on it, and then that's the one that blew up and went like 150, 170,000. So that's what got us going. It was one original recommendation, and then I checked it out, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And like honestly, the trailer was good, but like the movie completely blew the trailer away. And he says this movie's screenplay for first half was so weak and the second half was really good. The action and the visuals are good and the acting is solid. Okay, I get it. See, you know what? Like I get and understand what you're saying. So like I can understand how the screenplay and stuff can feel a little weak in that first half. Like I get that. And like I feel like you're a very balanced reviewer because like you're not just saying like, oh, it was the worst film of all time. It seems like everybody was saying that like it was a disaster. Like that was the big thing that everybody was saying it was a disaster. And like I don't think it's a disaster. Like even if it wasn't your cup of tea, I don't think that it was just like the worst thing ever. And then there's just, there's so much just internet outrage and people say everything is the worst thing ever. So I kind of the answer I feel like is in between a little bit of that stuff. So let me look at a few more comments. Patrick Wheeler in the building.
What's going on, Patrick?
What's going on, Patrick? Hope all is well, my man. Rachel says, I've been binging Reacher, so I think I might like this one. Yeah, I've heard Reacher is excellent. I wanted to do it, but I was a little bit, I didn't have enough time to jump into Reacher. So unfortunately, not going to be able to do that one. Maybe at some point we'll be able to get around to it on stream. Ani says, you have to watch Durhandar. Toxic was supposed to release in March, but it's postponed. I did hear that. Yeah, they said that it got pushed back because that movie was, doing so much and so big that they didn't want to have Toxic come out and then it not get the claim that it was deserved. So yeah, that's gonna be my next one. So Katie is gonna watch KGF. I just watched KGF chapter 1 last Sunday. This Sunday, we're going to watch KGF Chapter 2, and Katie's going to be on stream with me. So we're going to watch that one together. And then the next series of movies we'll do is I think it's pronounced Durhandar. So going to watch that one. So I'm going to get the trailer reactions out to those, and then we will watch both of those since everybody has been saying it's amazing. So going to watch both of those on stream. And then after that, we're going to get to RRR. Which was a movie that got nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards a few years back too. So yeah. Let me see if there's any more comments real quick. Yeah, Patrick. He says if that's true, then they knew those two films must have been good. Yeah, really good. Really good. They must be amazing. The person who recommended did your page a favor. Yeah, they did. a real big favor. Like the channel blew up just because of that recommendation. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot more international content coming out. Like I haven't released a lot of stuff other than the Indian stuff as of late, but like I released a trailer reaction to the Ali G trailer today. There's a trailer reaction that I have dropping soon for a South Korean movie that just came out. Like I recorded already and I have it set to release. I just have been pushing it back because there's been so much stuff going on with Toxic and everything else. So but yeah, and then I got my trailer reaction to the Different World trailer coming out soon. I got my reaction to the Varnell Hill show coming out soon. So yeah, super excited about those and being able to release those, but it's really hard to like time everything together. So things keep getting pushed back because I don't want to like jump on something that's like actively blowing up at the moment. So Rachel said, where do you watch KGF? You can watch KGF on Amazon. That's where I watched it at. I watched it on Amazon Prime. And yeah, they have English subtitles. I didn't see any like dubbed in English or anything like that. And also I've heard that Toxic was actually like dual recorded in English as well. So I haven't seen any English like versions of it in theaters, but I'm guessing some theaters may have an actual English version that people may be able to check out. And even the version that we saw that was in Kannada, it has a lot of like English lines in it too. So like they'll be speaking in their native language and then it'll just jump into English and people will talk English for a while. And then there's other actors and actresses in it that are white, so they just speak English. So yeah, it was a fun ride, man. If you guys got opinions on it, please let me know in the chat. But otherwise, we will jump into topic number 2. Let me close this window. And topic number 2. Has Marvel got its hype back? That is my question. So, I know I feel a certain way. I'm really interested in how you feel, Steve. And I got a feeling that we're kind of similar on this, but just some random questions, some food for thought. First question. Does Doomsday to you feel like an Avengers level event? What do you think?
It does now.
Okay.
It does now. And that's following Spider-Man Brand New Day. So if you would have asked me prior to that movie, I was saying no. I mean, I thought Fantastic Four was a solid movie, but I thought it was better than solid. But they didn't have enough hits. Deadpool and Wolverine was kind of a one-off movie. I kind of looked at that as separate. So no, going into Spider-Man Brand New Day, I wasn't super excited about it. I did kind of see like nothing they've done in the last phase has been a super success. So no, I'm not super excited about it, right? Like in order for it to be an Avenger level movie, these characters, they're separate movies, they're independent movies, have to take you somewhere. You have to be excited about a storyline coming together. Now, Doomsday, the story of Doomsday, for as a comic book fan, yeah, that made me excited. But what the MCU was doing, no. So no, to answer your question, I didn't think it was going to be an Avengers level film prior to Spider-Man. Now, post the movie, yes, it's starting to feel like an Avengers level movie. You have Spider-Man. They've introduced the mutants with Jean Grey. We've had the big reveal at D23 now. The full X-Men characters being the actors are playing the characters being revealed now. So yes, it's starting to get there. Some of the rumors and leaks you hear online, that's getting me excited for the movie too. So yeah, I think it is starting to get to an Avengers level movie. Am I at the point where it's in game? Absolutely not. I don't have, but they haven't earned that yet. So we'll see. But I'm not at that point. But I am excited, and I do feel like it's a Avengers level film right now.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that too, man. I'm with you on that too. I just got to give a big shout out to my main man, Rack. What's going on, Rack? How are you, man? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in over in India. Rack has been like super supportive of all our videos and stuff, and I've been talking to him a bunch, in the comments and stuff. So big shout out to Rack, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. And Ani, I see your comments on here. I'll get back around to those in a second if you want to keep tuning in. Since we kind of moved on to start talking about Doomsday, but I think it does feel like an Avengers level event. I think the first trailer was good, like that first teaser was good, but it didn't quite do it for me. The second trailer, like that one did it for me. Like that made me feel like, oh man, like okay, here we go. Now we got it going. So yeah, that one really got it going for me. Okay, next question. Is Robert Downey Jr. as Doom brilliant casting, or is Marvel leaning too heavily on nostalgia? What do you think, Steve?
They're leaning way too heavy on nostalgia.
Okay.
Now, here's the hook with that. Could that still be brilliant casting?
Right.
Could it still be brilliant casting? Right. Like, I'm not trying to split your question here, but I'm gonna give you a real answer. Right off the back, they're definitely leaning to nostalgia, and I think it's really because they haven't had a lot of success in the last few phases going up to this, and so yeah, they're gonna bring back Robert Downey Jr. and he's gonna play this role. But that in itself can still be brilliant casting though, because where they were at this time last year, the last 2 years, I haven't been excited for a Marvel film anymore. So on some level, maybe they do have to jump back into that. And if you're going to jump back into that, Robert Downey is a strong actor. He can probably pull this off. So I do think it could be a little bit of both. But I'm not gonna get away. I'm not gonna walk away from that and say they're not just they didn't have this brilliant idea. They are trying to go back into the past to get people going again and get them excited again. And I think that's a possibility. This could be a brilliant casting.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna have to explain it and break it down in a way that's going to change the way that we think of Tony Stark. There's no way that they just look the same just because the actors are the same actors portraying them.
Yeah.
Like, they better not do that. Like, that can't be the solution, is that there's no
Yes.
solution. The
Yes.
reason that they are the same, played by the same actor, needs to be that there's something there. There's some reason why that's the case. That has to be what it is. And that that's not what it is, I'm gonna be mad. So, and I think they know and understand that, and they would not lead us down that path. So I think once we look back on it, we may be able to say that it was brilliant casting, but right now I would give that an incomplete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another question: are the returning legacy characters generating excitement, or are they covering for weaknesses in the current MCU? So all the people they're bringing back, is that just generating excitement, or is it just covering for all the other weaknesses of this last phase of the MCU? Another sort of leaning on nostalgia sort of thing.
Yeah, they're definitely covering. They're definitely covering, because the way the Avengers crew, sort of this notable crew that we all know, even your normies, your everyday fans, we all know these characters. You ended it perfectly, and this was it was supposed to be a time to really bring in different characters. You didn't even have to do a reboot. You could have brought in some different Marvel characters that people don't know as well. But they just didn't have the type of success that they wanted to have with that. You know, like I really thought they were going to lean into, after Endgame, kind of lean into Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and that sort of tandem would kind of push the MCU to the next level. And then as the phases move on, I don't think the fan base was as excited about that. And so now, man, we gotta bring back Thor. We gotta do something with Hulk. We gotta bring back Iron Man. We gotta bring these characters back, that when we were in our heyday, when we were in our prime, these were the characters that the audience grew to love. We got to bring those back. So I'm excited again, but it's not because they've been able to create a story since Endgame, because they haven't. The only thing that's really worked has been Spider-Man. And you know, they had Fantastic Four, some solid things with their Guardians of the Galaxy's been solid. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was a solid one-off, a good one-off movie. But collectively, no. They haven't really done much the last few phases. And so they are definitely trying to pull back from the past to get this going again. And then I don't want to step on another question you might have, but as they move forward, now you're gonna have to do something eventually. I mean, you can't keep going back to the legacy characters. So you're gonna either have to reboot or push new characters that you haven't done in the past in order for this to continue to work. But to get back to your question, they're absolutely pulling from the legacy characters to make this work again. And I think it's because it hasn't worked.
Yep. Nope. I completely agree with you, man. How important do you think Doomsday is to the future of the MCU? At least me personally, I think it's the most important thing until the next most important thing. Just like at one point in time, Spider-Man Brand New Day was the most important thing, only because it was next. And I feel like Doomsday is the most important thing because it's next.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say this. I might go a little bit further than that. And let me explain. I think this is the most important film since the first Iron Man.
Wow.
Because you're literally they have to get that level of excitement for anything they do. Like we'll all go see a Spider-Man movie. They can reboot Spider-Man for the next for decades. Just keep rebooting it. Just, hey, but let's do it again every 10 years with a new character. Spider-Man is bona fide. He's legit. Okay. But as a collective universe, I gotta be honest with you. I've had a drop off the last 5 years for that. And so, in order for them to get back to that, this movie has to work. It has to be good again. It has to get you excited about the movie itself and the next decade. I shouldn't say the next 5, 6 years.
Right.
You have to get excited about. They have to do the mutants correctly in this for you to get excited about that. And so I'm gonna take it. I might take it a little bit further and say this is the most important MCU piece since Iron Man.
I can 100% agree with you on that, man. Like, yeah, if this doesn't, well, let me ask the next question because then we can jump into that. So the final question: if Doomsday isn't great, can Marvel recover?
If the movie is trash, no, I think they're done because the hype machine is not going to do them any favors right now.
Yeah.
If we're talking about this movie this heavy in July and August, and then we get to December and it's trash. I mean, complete trash. It's not like an opinion thing, like somebody thinks it's good, group thinks it's. If it's just like trash, where 75% of the people that watch it say, "No, I didn't like it," they're in trouble. And then I think, like I said earlier, you're just gonna you can get like Spider-Man movies and sort of one-off here and there. But as far as the universe, I think they're completely done. You might have to think about rebooting it. If the movie doesn't live up to the hype, but it still generates a good amount of buzz, I think they can be okay, especially if certain pieces in the movie and certain characters in the movie work. I still think they can push that forward, but it can't be trash.
Yeah. You know what? I think it being trash would be a huge setback, but they can survive it. The only reason that I say that they can survive it is because you have Secret Wars. Now, let's say Secret Wars is trash too.
Mm-hmm.
They have only one other thing left, and that's the X-Men. So like you have to go in that order. So like Doomsday bad, Secret Wars bad, all the pressure in the world is on X-Men. Like all of the pressure in the world would be on that film, because if that film somehow is able to recapture the magic, then there you have your Iron Man 1 to kick things off again.
Right.
And then you can just start it over. You can just start it from there. But if that movie is then bad, you're done. Like you're really done at that point. Then you have to scrap everything, reboot everything. None of your characters work anymore. Your whatever saga you were doing is finished, and you need to come up with some other storyline. Like all your Robert Downey Jr.'s and your Chris Evans and all these people who are rumored to still be around after Secret Wars will have to be like that's got to end. They'll have to be done. They'll have to start over fresh at that point. But yeah, like I don't think that Doomsday is going to be bad. I don't think that it will be trash. I don't think Secret Wars will be trash. The Russo brothers have a track record that if at worst, when I walk out of that theater, I feel like that movie will be a 4 out of 5. At worst. I don't think that there's any way it can be less than that. Just from what I've seen already, unless they are just purposefully hiding everything that's really bad about the movie. And then there's a bunch of story beats that don't make sense. But one of the things that the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have proven is that when they get together, they can make greatness. So I'm expecting greatness from them.
Agreed.
But yeah, let me jump into the comments, man. You guys, the chat has been going crazy. I love all of you guys, man. And let me try to run through these. Ani, your comments have been great. I really appreciate you jumping in and jumping right into the chat, diving in head first. I appreciate that. That's really cool when people who haven't really been around a ton come in and just, jump into the community, because that makes everything better. Patrick says, yes, mind control is quite grapey and not excusable. They could address that in newer films or TV shows. Yeah, that stuff with Jean Grey is definitely a little bit of controversy. Yeah. And I think that they're going to use that, or if they were smart, they would use that as a talking point for or as a narrative point for the rest of their films moving forward, is that this woman took control of all of our bodies. She, she abused us, and that's going to be able to get them the sentiment to get whatever they need to have pass, and then that's gonna, it's a story beat that's built right there, and that's going to be a thread that leads all the way through the mutant saga, I believe.
Yeah.
Ani says casting RDJ and bringing back Steve was a desperate move because none of the new characters were interesting enough to lead an Avengers level movie. That's why they brought the Russo brothers back. Yeah, I think that there were a lot of characters that there were a lot of situations that caused us to be where we're at now. We had the whole Jonathan Majors thing. I think that if he would have stayed around, he could have helped. I would have loved to see what their ideas would have been with that. I do think that it was lacking star power a little bit, but if you weren't going to have like RDJ taking the reins and being such a big part of the movie, maybe there would be more of a focus on some of the other people. So like say if you didn't have RDJ, you didn't have Chris Evans, you had Jonathan Majors, you had Anthony Mackie's Captain America, you had, some of the other characters that they built, a Shang-Chi. Like I think that you had pieces, but I don't think that those pieces were used correctly.
No.
So like instead of having the stars and the building blocks, you had stars, you had building blocks, you put them to the side. You tried to bring in new toys, but people didn't like the new toys that you brought in. So instead of trying to build up those new toys, you scrapped them, threw them out, and brought all the old toys back. Like at some point you can't do that. And that the X-Men are going to be their big reset, because that's your new cast is going to lead us, moving forward. Patrick said they're on damage control. Yeah, I think they definitely were. There's a lot of money that was invested. So yeah, definitely think that damage control is what's going on. They literally brought character like Miss Marvel, Falcon, and She-Hulk, like in the comics, nobody cared all that much for these characters. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like you can't. And we're gonna get into this with the DC thing coming up next. But sometimes you gotta play the greatest hits, especially when you're trying to establish something new. Unless you have just this brilliant idea of the way to bring these new characters forward, sometimes you just got to go to the greatest hits. So I understand why Marvel went back to the well with RDJ and Chris Evans. I would have liked for them to have built up something better, because I think you have other toys that you can play with, like I said. And then on top of that, I think the way that the Infinity Saga ended was perfection. Like, there's something to be said about not, or just leaving that as is, and just say that, hey, we told this story over 15 years, and we ended it in the best way possible, and now these characters are done. They're just done. And I think that there's some class and grace in that, but dollar signs speak more than that.
Yes. And you nailed it a little bit earlier when you said there's a lot of things that occurred the last 5, 6, 7 years that kind of changed the trajectory of where they were going with things. The unfortunate death in the Black Panther family, Wakanda, was kind of shifted everything. You could have did a lot of things, different things there. Jonathan Majors, that kind of shifted some things. And then you had characters that personally I love, but I don't know if they could carry an entire universe. Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, I like these characters, but I don't know if they could really carry a universe. And when they're when you put a lot in those movies, and they weren't as simple as the first movies in both Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, they didn't live up to the hype. And so you kind of, now they were kind of lost. Patrick said it best. They're playing damage control now, because you didn't have those pieces that worked well. So now you got to go back into the toy box and pull the classics out. And you're right, at some point, that's not gonna work. And it also shows, when things are going well, when Marvel was in what phase 2, phase 3, they could have literally thrown almost any character at you, and that movie would have made $600-700 million. Like that's
Yep.
what happens when everything is clicking.
Yep. Nope. I'm 100% with you on that too. And the fact that they squandered that and kind of like expanded into stuff that people didn't really care about, I think, and they lost their direction. They lost their way for a little bit. So hopefully with this reset and bringing some of the other folks back and sort of playing the greatest hits, that eventually we will get to to some of the new stuff and the new people. So real quick, I'm gonna keep running through some of these comments. Ani says they completely ruined Kang by making him look so weak in Ant-Man 4. They should have kept him a mystery like Thanos. The whole Kang storyline was just bad. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When they presented He Who Remains on Loki at the end of season 1,
Yes.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
Like, and I was all the way on board. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, this is it. This is it. And then we got to Ant-Man, and he got beat by ants, and I don't understand that ending like one bit. There's no way. I don't care what anybody says. That movie should have ended with an Infinity War style sad moment.
Yes.
Like he should have took Paul Rudd, should have been done.
Yeah.
Done. He should have killed him. He should have said that, oh, you're an Avenger? I've unalived many of you before. And then fought him and ran through him. And like just wrecked him. And then that would have made that dude formidable because you took out a fan favorite. I think that would have been amazing. But they went a different direction, and I don't really understand the direction that they went with that. And they made him look so weak.
Yeah,
doing so.
And they tried to explain it like there's, I understand it's variants of Kang, but like in that movie, that this is his big screen debut now. You had to do that right. I think that would have been a really good idea. Ant-Man should have been deleted.
Yep.
And
I think that would have been great. There. Yep. And I don't quite understand why they didn't go that route, but yeah, I think that would have been great. I think they had to do damage control because of the woman who attacked John. Yeah, that whole situation was crazy. I don't know, man. I don't even want to talk about that part. But yeah, he messed up, she messed up. That was a bad situation. So Marvel definitely had to pivot. Too many bad optics in that sort of situation. They should have just had X-Men movies already in a different universe like Fantastic Four, then connect them through Doomsday and bring all of them together. Disney is a stupid company of all time. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a route that they could have went to. I wouldn't have been mad at that. I think the one thing that we can say is that all is forgiven if they nail Doomsday. So if they can make Doomsday into something that we all greatly enjoy, I think all will be forgiven. Rachel says if it's bad, too many people we let down and lose their trust. Yeah, I think that a lot of the trust is eroding as is. So
right. Yeah.
If it's bad, it's definitely going to put a damper. I think that I'll still probably watch just about everything unless it gets too bad. If we get Supergirl levels of bad, then we're in a real bad situation. But hopefully we don't get that bad. Patrick says they could have used Cillian Murphy for Doom. Oh my God, yeah, that was my choice. He would have been perfect.
Yeah.
And I think they waited too long to do that. Like I feel like he's a little too old now. I really wish that they would skew younger like they are with the X-Men. I think when you bring in a new character who's going to be around for a while, like they need to be younger. So that's why I'm happy with the X-Men casting choices age-wise. Maybe not necessarily like actor-wise and actress-wise, but age-wise, I'm great with it. Let's see. Not gonna lie, when Feige said we're gonna have 50% female superheroes around 221 and like that already had me thinking that MCU is gonna have some issues. You know what? I think that I understand what they were doing, but I think you need to build your female characters in a way that also they need to exist, but they don't need to dominate, just like anybody else that you
Yeah.
have like in your characters. I think a
Yeah.
lot of times what Disney was trying to do is they were trying to make everyone happy, and by trying to make everybody happy, they really didn't make anybody happy.
Exactly.
And you also sort of alienated your fan base who was, who's desperate for these types of films. So you didn't really make the female viewers happy because they didn't like a lot of the portrayals of the characters. And if you look at the box office demographics, they didn't really go support the movies a ton.
Mhm.
So like, Captain Marvel, like they
Mhm.
weren't there. And then the guys weren't really into it because there was a lot of emasculating of male characters in some of those films too. So like it's a fine line. Like I think that there should be representation and that there
Mhm.
should be those characters, but if you're going to present those characters, you have to write them well. It's the same way with like Captain America.
Mhm.
Like I like seeing a black character, but his character didn't resonate with me the way that T'Challa Black Panther resonated
Oh
with
yeah.
me,
Right.
because that character was written immaculately. The director of the movie was amazing
Mhm.
and showed his care for the characters in that film. So like it came across that way. But then Anthony Mackie sort of just got the raw end of the deal, and you had a movie that was made and produced during probably the most tumultuous time in Marvel's last 20 years.
Mhm.
So that movie suffered because of that. And
Mhm.
I think it's a bad situation. I don't think that Anthony Mackie is a bad actor. I
No.
think that you could portray his character in a way that would be more deserving of higher praise. I definitely think.
Absolutely. And on
Go
that
ahead.
note, Marvel has to pick, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna say like we're gonna start pushing some of the women comic book heroes that we've had in the past, they have to go. Do we have a Wonder Woman type
Yes.
character?
Yes.
Like Wonder
Yes.
Woman, not so much Wonder Woman 84, but the first Wonder Woman was
Yes. I was
excellent.
You reading my mind, bro. You're reading my mind.
And so, let's find the characters we really want to build on that people are going to be excited about. And then we can get that going and then work from there. I don't think they did that. Like
Yep.
I thought Captain Marvel's numbers were the most inflated numbers of all the Marvel movies.
Yep.
And they found that out much later. And then on top of that, what gets me, particularly with Marvel, is that the Marvels was awful. Poor, horrible writing,
Yes.
built
Yes.
around characters that I don't think even pretty knowledgeable comic book fans, they're not very familiar with Kamala Khan.
Yep.
They're not going to be that Miss Marvel. They built a movie around characters that a lot of people weren't familiar with. The writing wasn't there, and so you didn't get a lot of support for it.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
you did the same thing with She-Hulk. I like She-Hulk, but again, why am I watching this? Why am I
Right.
watching Ironheart? You can't just
Yep.
throw anything out there,
Yep.
poor writing, and think you're going to generate buzz and create a universe off of that.
Yep. Yep. No, totally agree with you. And that's speaking on Captain Marvel, or yeah, of the Marvel specifically. Nothing against any of the actresses, but like it wasn't a good enough story
Yeah.
to really tie people in. And like
Mhm.
I feel like Miss Marvel was the
Mhm.
best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Like she was the best part of that movie, and I
Mhm.
loved her character. Like she rose even though the rest of the movie was just kind of
Mhm.
crap. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of her. I think that if you're going to do these projects, you just got to have the right script, man. You got to have the
Yeah.
right script. You can't just put it out there because you're trying to check off a box. Like
Yeah.
here's our ladies movie. Like no,
Mhm.
we're not doing that. And like you said,
Mhm.
the first Wonder Woman movie, bro, like I was sold. Like went to the theater to go see it and was like, "Oh yeah, this was great. This was
Yes.
great." Like it did, I watched it again with the girls it was either last weekend or the weekend before, and I was like, oh, it doesn't really hold up very well. But like it was such a good movie at the time. Like I really enjoyed that. And I hope that they're able to reclaim some of that magic as they move forward. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And I'm gonna have to move on from all these comments. This is like the first time I've ever like not like went through all the comments, but we got so many of them that I don't think I can do it at this point. But yeah, man, I appreciate all of you guys and the comments that you're leaving. I'm looking at all of them as they're coming in. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get up and read all of them. So but yeah, I think the point just goes to say that Doomsday is the next big thing and they have to nail it. It's got to be good. And if it's not good, I think everyone is going to know it and everyone is going to have a whole lot to say about it. And I don't mean like say in a good way either. Like if it's bad, it's gonna be bad and it's gonna feel real bad. So like they have to avoid that at all costs. But I feel like there's too much money involved, too many good actors involved in this for this movie to realistically fail. All right. Yes, like I said, I see all the comments, man. Y'all, I appreciate y'all having y'all own conversations in there. That's what the chat is supposed to do. So y'all go ahead, have your convos. Go for it. But yes, let me jump into this third topic, man. Let me jump into our third topic of the day. So third topic, and this is where I lead on you, Steve. You are our resident DC aficionado, encyclopedia expert. So I'm gonna lean on you for the DC stuff. Do you think that, well, let me set this up first. They just finished filming DC's Man of Tomorrow. So they just finished filming the next Superman movie. I think it wrapped this past week. They finished principal photography. Of course, they have reshoots and all that stuff. So they're gonna go back and they're gonna add more at some point. But everything that they've principal photography has been completed. So I'm gonna run through a list of characters that have been sort of either hard or soft confirmed to have been in the movie. So you got Superman, you got Lex Luthor, got Brainiac, Maxima. We'll talk about that in a second. Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, of course. Mr. Terrific is back. Jon Stewart is going to be in it. Blue Beetle is going to be in it, and Supergirl is going to be in it. Like there's a lot of the characters that they've been building up are going to be involved in it. Do you think that okay, well, let me ask this question first. Do you think that James Gunn is accelerating the interconnectedness of the DCU faster than he needs to, or do they need to sort of get to the point where they're adding these folks in? And before I let you answer that one, the Maxima character, everybody is saying that it's not Maxima, it's actually the woman who's been cast in that role as Maxima is actually Wonder Woman, and they're just trying to keep it under wraps by saying she's a different character. But yeah, do you think Gunn is going a little too fast to bring his DCU together, or do they need to do this?
Yeah, I think he's moving way too fast. And that was the problem with the early DCU. They moved way too fast. And I'm seeing it now. They really need to take their time with this. Don't rush the Justice League. Don't do it. I know you want to tap into that Avengers market, but your film's not ready for it.
Yep.
All right. Like we just talked about it. Like the Avengers, they could tap into the old toys, the classic hits, the best, the goodies, the oldies, the dusties. You don't have that right now. You don't have that. You don't have anything to pull out. Okay. You're working a new Superman that was I'm being nice saying that was a solid movie.
Yeah.
I'm being nice. So you got that. You would have to do. I mean, I heard they're going to do what the Brave and the Bold Batman. So they might introduce another Batman. You have to get a Wonder Woman going. You're doing a lot with the Green Lanterns, okay? And I'm I think some of the pieces are good, but you're still doing a lot with lanterns. Okay,
Mhm.
you got to figure out where you want to take that. Um, Supergirl, I think is a super no right now. Get going with that, and
Yep.
I'm not excited about that. With that being said, you need Man of Tomorrow needs to be good,
Mhm.
right? You have to introduce Batman in
Mhm.
a solo movie. You
Mhm.
have to introduce Wonder Woman in a solo movie. You have to start
Mhm.
bringing in these components of Lantern. So
Mhm.
these things, these independent things work.
Mhm.
And then maybe then you can introduce a movie
Mhm.
and get Justice League going. The
Mhm.
problem I had before with the early DCU was you had you had Superman, and that worked well. I can't what was the name of the Superman movie, the early one? I'm blanking out on it.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, thank you. And
Yep.
I thought that was pretty good.
Mhm.
You didn't introduce Ben Affleck's Batman. So it was like you watch Batman versus Superman. It's like, who is
What?
he? And
Yep.
right, does he fit the tone? He's just there. He's like this sort of like depressed Batman. So like, what are we doing here? They threw in Wonder Woman. They kind of thrown Flash was thrown in there. So you had these pieces that we were just supposed to roll with and say, okay, Batman versus Superman, boom, Justice League.
Right. Right.
That can't happen this time. You have to get these movies going independently before you can even attempt to do a Justice League movie.
Yep.
And you got to get and it has to be the trio of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
Wonder
and
Woman.
then
Holy
I
Trinity.
might
Yes.
go with Lantern instead of Flash right off the bat. You got to get those going, and then maybe you can introduce other characters in those movies.
Yep. I I'm 100% with you. And like what I don't quite understand is the route that they went in order to get to this point. So you had the Superman movie like we talked about. What else have we had from DC? We had Supergirl. We're gonna act like that never happened.
Hmm.
We had Peacemaker get 2 seasons of let's say it was solid at best.
Hmm.
Solid at best. Some points really good, but let's just say solid at best. What else? We had the Penguin
Penguin, I thought
that
that was
came
good.
out. Yep. We had the Batman, the first Batman that came out, but which is by a different director and a
Right,
whole different
right,
thing. So like
right,
you got conflict right there to begin with.
right,
Like you messing it up already.
right.
So let's do a little replay. This is what should have happened. Let's take the things like okay, the opposite is the case, or the way the DCU needs to be built is the opposite of what we just talked about with the MCU. The DCU is establishing itself, so it needs to play the greatest hits. Like it can't divert from those things. Like you have to get, like you said, you have to have your Batman, you have to have your Superman, you have to have your Wonder Woman. I feel like there are aspects of all of this that could really work, but there's so many other things that convolute all of it and make the whole picture just muddy. So let's just say all we had was the Superman movie that came out, and let's say the Lantern show that came out. Let's say those are the only two things of the DCU that existed. Even though the tone isn't quite right, I could see the forming of something there. Then from there, let's say you introduced, just trying to work with what they already got. Let's say you introduced the Penguin in there, and somehow that Penguin show was going to introduce the same Batman that you have in Matt Reeves' stuff. So that means that
Yeah.
Matt Reeves and James Gunn were going to be on the same page, and they were going to allow the character to be used there.
Hmm.
Then you got your Batman, you got your Superman, and you got your Penguin. So you got it, you got that.
Hmm.
Then let's say the Lantern show comes out now.
Hmm.
Then you got your Lantern. So you've already got a solid group right there of solid shows. Noticing I'm not mentioning Peacemaker.
Right.
I'm not even acting like there's a difference between the Batman and all that stuff. Like I'm not even getting into that part of it. Let's just say that it worked. Then you would have the runway right now instead of bringing in Supergirl. Yeah, you can even say that you want to bring in Supergirl. The script was trash. It was bad. It was bad. Anybody who saw that movie knows that it was bad.
Yes.
They had to have read that script and say it was bad.
Yeah.
So let's act like that never happened. Those funds should have been dedicated to bringing in your Wonder Woman. Then from there, you got your Wonder Woman, whoever she battled. You got your Superman and all the people who he dealt with. You got your Green Lantern, all the people that they've dealt with. And then you got your Batman and all the people that he dealt with. That's your universe right there. Like, your stuff is set. Then at that point, with who you just got right there, you can make a Justice League movie. Like, you got enough characters right there. Then you start in that movie, you bring along, Cyborg or something, like whatever, whoever, introduce whoever you need to introduce. But you got the basis and the ground floor of your Justice League right there with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern. You got enough. And then from there, they had the opportunity, instead of wasting your time with something like Peacemaker, make a show about Cyborg. Do a Wonder Woman show. Like, think about that. Think about how cool a show centered around Diana and, her origin story being presented in a show over 8 episodes. Like, you got all the pieces there. You had an opportunity, because you showed me with Lanterns that you could build something that is serious and good. You can do the same. You could have done the same thing with any of your other characters. And then that could seamlessly tie into the movies. Like, you got all the pieces. I just don't understand how you muddied the waters so much with so many other things. Like, they got the Peacemaker stuff. Like I said, who cares? Like, good show, but who cares? You're wasting funds and time. They were talking about all the other shows that have been canceled. What's the other reporter guy in the Superman movie?
Jimmy Olsen?
Yes, they had a Jimmy Olsen show.
Yeah.
Like, they were working on that. There was like a Gorilla Groot or Grodd.
Gorilla,
there's a show that they were developing with him. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta get your base set before you start expanding so much into these characters that people really just don't care about yet.
They're making a mistake that Sony is making, where they're getting these characters like Gorilla Grodd. It should be like a character in a Batman secondary villain that you build up to. No, you should be doing a show on this. Like, it can't get to that level. Like, they have to get people taking it serious. I completely agree. There should have been like a Cyborg show. These stronger characters that you intend to be major players, you could use that space for.
Because then when you think about it too, like, if you take that into consideration, where does Peacemaker fit in all this? Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, what is he supposed to do with anybody on this in a Superman movie? Like, it just doesn't fit. So it's wasted assets if you're trying to build a universe, and you don't have the runway to do like passion projects. Like, no, you need to nail your major stuff, and then you need to get people on board that way. And then if you want to slowly start expanding that stuff, that's fine. But you need to build your ground floor. Like I said, I would love to see a Wonder Woman show, a Cyborg show, where you get a chance to just be in the world with these characters longer, and then you bring them into the movies. Like, you don't even have to make like Cyborg a major part of the upcoming Superman movie, but he should appear. Because you've already spent the time making a show with him. So like, he doesn't have to be featured or anything like that, but he should be there, and you should know that he's part of that world too. We haven't even really gotten into tone, because the Superman tone doesn't fit with everything else really that they're doing. Like, we didn't even talk about Clayface. Clayface could be a super awesome show, but that tone wise doesn't fit with what you're presenting with Superman. Your Superman tone is completely different from everything else. So you're going to have to drastically change the tone when you come out with that film. It's going to have to look different. It's going to have to sound different. It's going to have to feel different from everything else. And that's going to be jarring to people who enjoyed the first film. But just imagine you took Man of Steel, and Man of Steel came out. Man of Steel could fit in with your Lantern show. Man of Steel could fit in with the Batman. Man of Steel could fit in with your Batman sequel. Man of Steel could fit in with Clayface. Man of Steel could fit in with Penguin. You know what I mean? Because you have that more serious tone. Like they all would blend together and work together. So James Gunn has some work on his hands, man. I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna pull it off and bring it together. But I've heard and read that the some people are saying that he signed an extension. Other people are saying that he's like a lame duck. So I guess we'll have to sit back and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. I had another question. How do you think the characters that we listed off for? Let me count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 characters. Do you think that those 9 characters are too much just for a simple Superman movie with where we're at in the DCU?
Yes. Okay. And again, I don't know how significant their roles will be in the movie, but it does feel a little packed.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for the jewels, Rachel. I saw that. Thank you.
They're gonna get to shine in that movie, so it feels it's a little jam packed.
Yeah, and then on top of it, like I like Mr. Terrific. I feel like he was one of my favorite parts of that movie, but like you're bringing him along for the ride because he was featured in the last movie. Yeah. Like Blue Beetle, you're bringing him along for the ride because somebody wasted their money making that character before. Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart fit. Hawk Girl doesn't really fit right now. No. Not right now. Lex, Superman, Brainiac can all fit. But like you just got you got James Gunn battling James Gunn here. Like James Gunn want to do James Gunn, and he wants to bring in these like side characters and make them a big part of things. And like it's just not where you at, bro. Like you can get all the side characters you want a little bit later. Give it a few years. Expand your universe the right way. Then you can start introducing these randoms, so to speak, into the fray. Yeah. So that's the little DC rant, man. I love talking DC with you, Steve, because like you're my go-to for all things DC. Yeah, I just don't know enough about it, but I'm learning enough, and I've done enough as we've done this show and had a chance to chat to know where they're kind of like steering the ship the wrong direction, unfortunately. Let's check out these chats. Let's check the chats out real quick. First off, big shout out to Rachel for sending us some stars, man. So since she sent us some stars, that counts as super chat. So whenever we get super chats, we get to take you to a special place. That special place is called the Super Chat Lounge. So let's go there. That's for you, Rachel. Thank you so much for sending us those silver stars. Truly appreciate it. Dollar bills, y'all. Anytime you send those stars, those stickers, those super chats, we take you to this place. It's called the Super Chat Lounge. KR sent us here on the last show that we did yesterday, so that was awesome too, man. Much love to you, Rachel, as always. Much love. But yeah, let's run through this chat real quick. Making shows as an integral part of main universe is stupid in my opinion, because most casual audiences won't watch shows and it'll make them confused when they watch the movies, and lack of important information in my opinion. I think that that's true for the most part. Like I get that and I understand that, but I think that you need to use your shows. Like I look at it like, as a studio, you have real estate. You got a block. This is DCU block. you can't fill the block up with all the same type of house. So you can't fill it up with all the same just movies. Like, and there's too much time that it takes to build your movies out. So like on a best case scenario, when you release a movie, you need to start a clock, and that clock is like 2 years. And a best case scenario, more likely than not, is 3 years. So if you're only going to release movies and to do them spaced out by 3 years, that is way too far to space those movies out. And then we've seen when DC tried to sort of speed that process up, it didn't work out too well for them. So I don't know how many irons they can have on the fire at once. If you can get into a cadence where you're releasing 2 movies a year, then you can kind of go into that route. But then from there, I don't know how good like a cyborg movie is going to be and how many people are going to come out for a cyborg movie.
Yeah.
I know how many people are going to come out for a Batman movie. I know how many people are going to come out for a Superman movie. I know how many people are going to come out for a Wonder Woman movie. So those other characters outside of those 3, I think you kind of have to go the TV show route. And you can do things to bring the audience up to speed for those characters, I feel too. Like you know, I don't think it would take much to introduce people to Jon Stewart in your Superman movie. Even though they haven't watched the show, I don't think it would take too much. So I think that there's a way around that. That's all I'm trying to say.
Agreed.
Let's see. Yep, they need to wipe the board and start again. Yeah, I would hate for them to have to do that, but they might be at that point. Doesn't matter how good the shows are, the majority of casual audiences will only watch movies, so you need to keep that in mind. That's true. That is true, but I would debate that point with you just a little bit. Rachel says everything you're saying is spot on. I appreciate that, Rachel. I love to have my ego, fed. What about the shelf Batgirl film? Oh my God. Yeah, that they wasted $100 million on, and it was so bad that they couldn't release it. Oh man. All right. Well, before we get into the rest of these comments, we just got another subscriber. We're up to 2424. Nice. So we gotta go right here and get our dance on. Whenever we get subscribers on this channel, we like to go dance it out. It took a while tonight, but we got them rolling in now. Thank you so much for subscribing to Watch Stuff With Us. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. All right. We got a comment from Tharuna says, did you see English Toxic movie? Please make public reviews. Yes. Tomorrow we will be doing a live stream on the Toxic movie, full spoilers. We'll be discussing it tomorrow. So that'll be our review and full spoiler conversation. It'll be Saturday night in India. It'll be Saturday morning for me here in the States, but it'll be Saturday night in India. I think 7 p.m. is when I'll start. So be right here on the channel for that. Patrick says, get a better Wonder Woman actor. Yeah, she's not, I thought she did good enough. I think she did good enough. She wasn't not the strongest actor. Beautiful, but not the strongest actor. And they better not cast a thin, short woman for Wonder Woman. They need a solid, tall actress for Wonder Woman. It's our same battle that we have with who they cast as Storm. Like, there needs to be a certain look for this character. Wonder Woman cannot be under 5'7". Like 5'7" is the minimum. If you can find somebody that's 5'10", like that's where you need to be at. 5'11", 6 foot even. Like, she's literally an Amazon. Like, she's not supposed to be small. Like, so yeah, I hope that whoever they cast is a taller woman to fit into that. Just aesthetically. Oh yeah, and Patrick said, yeah, almost 6 foot. Storm is almost 6 foot in the comments. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yep. Let's look. Oh man, I cannot keep up with chat tonight. It's wild. They already revealed the cast for X-Men. The woman playing Storm is 5'8". Yeah, I think that's probably like bare minimum about how tall that you can have your Storm. Maybe she'll wear some lifts to make her look a little bit taller. Yeah. Patrick says they should do another Dread film. I love that. I love Dread. I love Dread, man. Loved it. With some heels, I think she can pull it off. Before Wonder Woman, they need a well-built, tall woman because she doesn't use power. She fights in close range, and she needs to be tall and built. Agreed. You can't just get some small person. It just wouldn't look right. Would not look right. I don't think you need a hulking lady in there, but you know, she needs to be able to be physical. Someone who is built like Gina Carano for Wonder Woman. That might be a little too bulky, but like, how tall is she?
How tall is she? Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, how tall is she? I think you need somebody a little. I think Diana in the comics was always like more feminine. She was very strong, but she was definitely like more feminine.
Yeah, Gina's 5'8".
5'8". Okay. I guess she appears taller. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she could work. She could work. I know that there's not a lot of people who favor her in Hollywood these days for some of the comments that she made. So we'll see. Ani, man, appreciate you for all your comments tonight. Said they need to establish a universe with just movies and then start make shows so even the casual audience will be interested in the universe enough that they will watch the show. That they'll watch the shows is too risky for in the early stages of a universe. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yep, you establish your base, get your solid movies out there, and then you can kind of expand the universe with the shows. Even if they did like a Superman Wonder Woman team up movie to kick things off, you could have done something like that. Like that's all the setup that you need right there. And then it wouldn't have been so like crazy like it was when they did Batman versus Superman, because you just kind of jumped into that. So yeah. Even if you decided to do like World's Finest, you could do that. That would be really cool to see. And I don't know how long it'll take to get something like that. Carl Urban is free, I think, since The Boys in it. Dread too. Yeah, that'd be dope. That would be dope. All right. I think that is about it for all the comments. I'm sorry if I missed some of them, but yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to shut this here down. Bruno says, when you see Toxic in the theater, how many people were there? There were probably like 15 of us, I would say. It definitely wasn't like sold out. It wasn't crazy like it was in a lot of places in India to go see the movie, but there was a solid group of people there, especially for a movie that only had like 2 showtimes that day. The amount of people that were there was solid. Just so you guys know, man, please, if you haven't done so already, push that like button. And if you haven't done so already, push that subscribe button. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you guys did so. So, to go ahead and end the show tonight, I'll give a rundown of the schedule. Of course, tomorrow, which is it's Friday night here in the States, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning for us, Saturday evening out in India, we will be doing a live stream spoiler review for Toxic, where we're going to get into all the story beats of the film, talk everything about it. I will today I held back, so tomorrow I will make sure to give a full spoiler discussion on that. We can talk about all the controversial stuff in the actual plot of the film, so that'll be fun. We also have a trailer reaction dropping tomorrow, and then on Sunday, Katie and I will be here on Saturday or Sunday morning, which will be Sunday evening in India, watching KGF Chapter 2. So that will be fun to check that one out. And then coming back around on Sunday evening, we will be here for episode 3 of Lanterns, which will be fun. Then going into next week, we will be watching what is it? Dancing with the Stars, the Next Pro, the penultimate and the final episode on Tuesday of that show. We're watching both of those episodes. And then on Thursday, we'll be watching American Horror Story season 12, episodes 5 and 6, I believe. I really enjoyed watching that so far. That's been fun as we get closer and closer to American Horror Story season 13 coming up in a few weeks. And then that will lead us right back around to another episode of The Big Show next Friday starting at 7 p.m. As always, please check out all of the trailer reaction videos that we dropped during the week. I'm releasing short form content too. I released a interesting short on Toxic that is over 10,000 views that I released earlier today, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, just the support that we've gotten on this channel over the last few weeks has been incredible, man. I can't tell you guys how much it motivates me to continue to do what we do, and to put out more and more content, especially the international content that we're putting out. And we definitely look forward to releasing more and more of that as the days and weeks continue on. Steve, I appreciate you for being on the show as always, my man.
Anytime.
Any final words? Anything you got that you're looking forward to watching this week that maybe might not be on stream, but something that you're watching right now that you want to tell other folks that they need to jump into and start watching?
Well, someone in the comments mentioned it earlier. Reacher's been good. I got to catch up on it a little bit more. One that I know you already watching is Lanterns. Okay,
yes,
so those are two going to be Sunday. I'm going to be there. And
okay.
Then Reacher's a strong show.
Awesome. I've heard so many good things about it, man. Absolutely. About it, but I don't know how I'm gonna fit it in. I gotta figure out some way somehow. But yes. Patrick says, see you for Lanterns. Yes, we will be here for Lanterns. Yeah, I hope you can make it, Steve. If you can, let me know.
Sunday's getting a little crazy for me. Yes.
I totally understand, man. I totally get it. Big shout out to everybody who is here in the chat tonight, man. All the support that you guys give us, all the love that you send our way, all the comments, man. You guys make the show. Like it's crazy to just do the show and be able to dive into the comments, speak on the comments, get so many comments that I can't even talk about all of them. Like, it's crazy. So I really appreciate that. Oh, and I also should probably make one other announcement since it's been kind of relevant as of late. When GTA 6 releases, I'm thinking about doing a stream that night of a few hours of gameplay of GTA 6. Just because that might be a little fun. I know that's a little bit outside of the purview of the channel, but just for one night only, maybe get a nice 3-hour slice of GTA 6 on the stream. So that might be kind of fun. I don't know if anybody who wasn't here before when I talked about it might be interested in checking out something like that. But I just saw the videos for that this past week and it looks incredible. And I'm like, oh, that might be kind of fun to stream and play around with for a little bit. So yeah. That is pretty much it, man. Rachel said, she said, did I see her comment on Lanterns? I don't know if I saw it. Haha, my kids are confused. They were like, wait, there are two guys. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, two of us on here tonight. Yeah, Steve is awesome, man. So happy to have him be a part of this, man. Been talking about doing this a long time, so I'm really glad that he's able to fit it into his super busy schedule. This dude is crazy busy, but he makes time for the show, so I appreciate that, man. I didn't see your comment about Lanterns. What was your comment about Lanterns? Let me see if I can scroll up and find it. I think I might have missed it. If you can repeat it, let me know what it was, Rachel. Yeah, I don't see it. Patrick says, see you for Lanterns. Yes, I'll see you on Sunday for Lanterns, my man. Patrick says sometimes there's 3 guys. Yeah. Yeah, James isn't here today. James might be busier than both of us. That dude, man, he has 3 boys and his boys keep him in constant rotation. I don't even know when that dude has had a day off between his kids. So do it on Katie's channel. You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna I'll probably do the 3 hours of GTA 6 on the main channel, and then if people are interested and we get a good turnout, I don't mind streaming the rest of the game on Twitch. Like, we do have a Twitch channel that I stream on constantly anyway. I just don't do a lot of gaming content on there. Katie's done more gaming on our Twitch channel than I have. So it'll be kind of fun to do that, and get some more stuff going on Twitch as far as that's concerned. I don't really want to do it on here like constantly, because then YouTube will get confused, even more confused on what the channel is about. So
Yeah.
then it won't push it out if it doesn't know who to send it to. But yes, I think that is it. Rachel says, I know they haven't seen them all yet. Yeah. Rachel says, Steve always has great comments and insights. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Oh, Rachel said that was me on Reacher. Where are you at? What season and what episode? She wants to know what season and episode you are on Reacher.
I'm on season 3.
Okay. Yeah, I think didn't they just drop season 4? Is that the one that just came out?
Season 4. Okay. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I was late with season 3.
Yeah, no, I've heard so many good things about it, man.
I love it.
So many good things about it. But yeah, I think that's it, man. I truly appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with us. And like I always like to end the show, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop those comments, and just know that Watch Stuff with Us will be in the mix in 2026. And if you haven't done it already, all the buttons. Yes. My name is JD. That's my main man, Steve, right over there. Please don't be a stranger. And we will see you when we see you. Peace and love. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning for our Toxic Spoiler Stream.